So the DD2 competitors heading onto the track, and the way the grid lines up after qualifying yesterday is going to be as follows. It's going to be a Spaniard, in fact an all-Spaniard front row, because Jorge Carlos Pescador was the quickest man in kart 623. He'll start alongside Oriol Dalmu Caballero. On row 2 we then have the likes of Glenn Van Parijs, who steps up to DD2 for this season. He's got Bradley Liebenberg alongside the South African. On to row 3 we've got the pole, which is Kasper Bilecki, and Kevin Ludi, last year's champion, starts 6th on the grid. Back on row number 4 we have the likes of another Spaniard, Ivan Martinez, and Willy Valanen is there in 8th place. On to row number 5 we've got Marcel Schirmer, the German, who is a very experienced man within Rotax racing. He is again into DD2 for this year. He lines up alongside the runner-up from last year, Konstantin Scholl in kart 602. Back on row number 6 we have the first of our Brits, which is Barry Pullinger. Alongside him will be Gerard Sebrian Aditza, another Spaniard within the field here this weekend. Then on to row number 7 we have Harold Garcaklis alongside Philip Seward. Row 8 is going to be headed by the Italian Cosimo Francesco Durante, with Fabian Lanz alongside him. Then to row number 9 is going to be Christoph Adams, who is the first of our Masters runners here this weekend. He qualified the quickest out of those. He's got Imre Berizdo alongside. Row 10 is headed by Michel Biffiger with Andrew Williamson on the outside. Row 11 then sees Slavomir Moransky with Rafael Villanueva. Row 12 then sees the likes of Joel Altonen with Ilja Oloskind, and the final row of the DD2 grid has Jonathan Petirzi and Maxim Shaposhnikov, the Russian racer, to round out the 26 racers within the DD2 field here this weekend for that first heat on track. As we said, there's the Masters class to watch out for as well. You've got some of the elder guys and ladies that we've seen in the past to take to the grid in DD2, so we'll keep you focused on those. They include Christoph Adams, Slavomir Moransky, Ilja Oloskind, Jonathan Petirzi, and also Maxim Shaposhnikov. 5 races with the Masters class here this weekend for the Winter Cup, so look out for them amongst the DD2 runners. And in previous years, like last year, we had the likes of Slavomir Moransky finish 3rd in the overall finishing order of DD2, so they can definitely push their way to the front once they get their carts sorted, so watch out for them, and we'll see how they get on in this 10-lap encounter as they work their way down the back straight, a very slow speed here. So Jorge Carlos Pescador making sure everyone is nicely bunched, not getting too much weaving into the tyres towards the end of this lap, so the ones towards the front may struggle, the ones to the back doing the last preparations. A little bit of a fiddle on the right of the carts there for everyone, just to make sure they're in fine fettle as they make the run down towards the first corner. And again, we have seen in the previous 3 heats for the categories that the inside run is the place to be. Taking the shortcut through the chicane as they get themselves onto the starting grid, ready for this 10-lap race to get underway for DD2. Who is going to make the best of the starts this time round then? Let's find out as they come across the line, and the lights do go out as they head down towards the first corner. A terrible start there from the Spaniard. Jorge Carlos Pescador has been muscled down the field, and it's going to be all off the track there. It's going to be, it's that Bradley Liebenberg, I think, has gone straight on at turn 1. He completely missed the apex of the corner, unfortunately, which does mean now up into the lead has gone Oriol Dalmu Caballero, so 1 Spaniard out front for now. Second place they work their way through turns 5 and 6 is going to be the likes of Glenn Van Parijs, made himself through the order up into second place. So Glenn now on the attack of our Spaniard, down towards the left-hander for the first time at turn number 9. Up into third place has come, by the looks of it there, I think that is in fact Bradley Liebenberg, so we didn't lose him on that first corner. They turn their way through. Kevin Ludi is up there as well, by the way. You can see his 601 car. We've got someone off down here at turn number 6 who will try and pick up very shortly and let you know the details of that in a few minutes' time. But the leader's on to the end of the first lap with the Spaniard leading. Oriol Dalmu Caballero at the head of the field. Second place, Glenn Van Parijs, but not for much longer. Down the inside line he goes, and Glenn takes over the lead of the race at the first turn on lap number 2. So Glenn goes through now, puts the Spaniard back into second. We've got another Spaniard in third. That is our poleman, Jorge Carlos Pescador. So he's managed to get his way back through. Kevin Ludi sits in 4th place. Slight break back to 5th, which is Kasper Bilecki, and then Willy Valanen rounds out your top 6 for now. The one we lost at turn number 1 was, it was Bradley Liebenberg, I can tell you. He's dropped 13 positions from the start of the grid, so he's down now into 17th place. The one we have also lost from the race completely on that first lap is Slavomir Moransky. He has disappeared from the order, so he is now out. Will take no further part within this race, I'm afraid to say. Meantime, leaders now to completion of another lap. Down towards the chicane they come. Glenn Van Perrie still leads the way. Second place for Oriol Dalmu Caballero, who now this time will attack out the first corner. Can he get to the inside line? The Spaniard can. He knows his track well, being very local here in Spain. So Oriol Dalmu Caballero now goes through into the lead of the race once more. It's kind of like a yo-yo at the minute, isn't it? One goes into the lead, one goes back to second, and they do exactly the same on the next lap. Although Glenn Van Perrie was looking to get through there at turn number 4, but he's now lost a position because going through is the Spaniard of Jorge Carlos Pescador. So he now jumps up into second place to make it a Spanish 1-2. Glenn Van Perrie will look at turn 9 to get the inside run, which he can't quite achieve there, so he slots back into third, and he'll lose a place now to the next man in tow, which is our champion, Kevin Ludi, who now goes through into third place. So Kevin jumps up into third, and it looked like Kasper Belecki also following through as well. So he's now up into fourth place, and to the tail of that has gone very quickly Glenn Van Perrie. So he's now out of the question for a few minutes. Top two have broken away, so the Spaniards now starting to work together. Here comes Jorge Carlos Pescador down the inside line to take over the lead of the race. So the third consecutive time down at turn number 1 we have had a change for the lead. It's still Spanish 1-2, just a slightly different order this time. You can see now the quickest lap has gone to Kasper Belecki, 56.378, the man who sits in fourth place, just behind Kevin Ludi there in your picture. So he sits fourth, just ahead of Glenn Van Perrie. And now all of those are 1.5 seconds to the good of Willy Villanen. Although I say that, is that the case? Yeah, no, it's not. Willy Villanen has somehow managed to catch right up there on this lap alone. So Willy's right there with them. Then there's a gap of 2.3 seconds to Konstantin Scholl in seventh place. So that's where the gap has started to appear. There you can see it on your screen. Konstantin going through the picture just ahead of Gerard Sebrian Aritza and Barry Pullinger inside the top 10. Will we have another change at turn number 1? Not for the lead we won't, but for third place we will indeed, because Glenn Van Perrie has now jumped back ahead of 601, which is Kevin Ludi. So another change for third place, but nothing really happening out front between the top two, keeping it as clean as possible. And maybe trying to now eke out the gap between themselves and the guys behind, because if they can do that, it'll make them more comfortable towards the end of the race, where they can then probably squabble to try and change the lead once more. But for now, it remains Jorge Carlos Pescador out front. Second for Oriol Dalmu Caballero. Third place for now Glenn Van Perrie in 6.22. Fourth place is Kevin Ludi in 6.01. Fifth place for the kart of Kasper Belecki, who was the quickest man, but that is now no longer, because I think... yes, the quickest lap has gone to the leader, Jorge Carlos Pescador, with a 56.107. So he's now starting to pull out that gap ahead of the rest of the field. Glenn Van Perrie, by the way, though, has caught up with the top two once more, so he's not hanging about. As soon as he drops down the order, he changes it very quickly to move back to the head of the field. So watch out for Glenn here in third place. The green and white machine that sits there on track. Glenn this year racing with the Bourbon Power team. And he is now the quickest man on track. He's gone down below 56 seconds. 55.907 for Glenn. So definitely on a charge now in this race. We're at half race distance. On to lap number 6 we are. Nearly completed that one as well, as the leaders work their way down towards turn number 9. Glenn's looking now all over the back of Oriol Dalmu Caballero. Can't quite find a way through on the exit of turn 10. But this is where the speed starts to build. You get quicker and quicker every single corner. Heading onto the back straight now, down towards turn number 12, where you hardly let up whatsoever, but then you're going to have to be hard on the brakes in towards the chicane for this 6th time. Through they go. Glenn Van Perrie getting closer and closer. Can he make a move at turn number 1? Let's have a look as they work their way then down towards there now. Glenn Van Perrie pulls out, but very, very good at defensive. There is Oriol Dalmu Caballero. He keeps the door shut, keeps himself in second place. Not really letting the leader get away here, to be fair. So they're doing a grand job of fighting, but keeping their leader in sights as well. So Jorge Carlos Pescador still sitting there in that blue machine, with second place being Oriol Dalmu Caballero. Third place then for Glenn Van Perrie. Not quite through yet, but he's very determined to do so as they head off the short straight down towards turn number 9. Not really under too much hassle from behind either. They're keeping Kevin Ludi and Kasper Belecki at bay. And then still on his own in 6th place, yet to make any inroads into the top 5 is Willy Villanen. So that all sets us up for a great climax to this dd2 heat, the first of the day. There's a move there though. Kevin Ludi just being passed by Kasper Belecki, by the way, and that is confirmed across the line as well. So Kasper Belecki goes ahead of Kevin Ludi. Can Glenn Van Priest go ahead of our second place man? No, he can't. So Oriel Dalmu Caballero holds on for it once again through the exit of turn number 2. On towards the chicane there. Doesn't really do it justice, that camera angle. It's very, very tight through that chicane, but all the drivers have taken it as quick as they possibly can. Then through his tight and twiddly section, through the lights of turn 6 and 7. On towards the left-hander now at turn 8, where the speed starts to build once more before the hard on the brakes down towards turn number 9. And there goes Glenn Van Priest for a move down the inside line. He gets the job done. He's overcooked it there. He's run wide. And Oriel Danmu Caballero needs no second invitation to go back through to where he was. So Glenn Van Priest trying his best there, but just overcooked it, as I said, on the exit of turn 9, which is a corner that definitely comes back on itself. So you've got to be very good at what you do there and try and make a block pass at the same time. But it didn't work that time from Glenn Van Priest. Let's see if he can try it down at turn number 1 on this occasion, as we now start lap number 9 in this race. Here he goes, Glenn Van Priest in kart 622, looking for a way through, but again it doesn't really happen at the first corner. The man at the minute in second place, the MDC Racing CRG man, Oriel Dalmu Caballero, doing a grand job of keeping second place. They now find themselves 3/4 of a second behind the leader, which is still Jorge Carlos Pescador. On towards the left-hander at turn 8. This is where Glenn Van Priest went for a move last time. He thinks better of it on this occasion. Sits in the toe of Oriel, and he'll try and do something possibly off the back straight here, because time is now starting to run out. We're about to start the last lap of the race here in Spain for the first DD2 heat of the weekend. Glenn Van Priest still not close enough to do anything at the chicane, but maybe a last lap gasp will be in the hands of Glenn. Let's see what he can do again. Encouragement for Oriel Dalmu Caballero on the pit wall as they head now onto the last lap here in this DD2 heat. Glenn Van Priest getting very, very close there to a move, but Oriel had it covered every single angle there, so no way through from our third place man. Kasper Bilecki, I think, is just out of the question in 4th place. No way for him to catch up with the top 3. Kevin Ludi is still 5th, and Willy Verlanen 6th on this last lap now as they turn away through the exit of turn 6 and 7. Probably 2 more opportunities for Glenn to get through. This is going to be one of them at the end of the short straight down towards turn number 9, but don't make too many mistakes, because he needs to be there or thereabouts on the last corner. He's putting Oriel under immense pressure here. He's making him go the long way. Here comes Glenn Van Priest up the inside line on towards turn number 11. Is there contact between the two? Not quite. They're trying to give themselves as much room as possible. Here comes Glenn though for a move at turn 12. It's not quite going to be enough. He's going to have to hold on now to keep Kasper Bilecki behind as well. But here he comes, the Spaniard. Jorge Carlos Pescador has done a grand job. He started from pole. He's come back through. He takes the first heat win in DD2 here this weekend in Spain. He wins by a very comfortable 1.2 seconds in the end, ahead of his fellow Spanish driver Oriel Dalmu Caballero, who only just managed to hold on ahead of Glenn Van Priest. So they came near enough side by side across the line. But a great race there. The Spaniards doing well in DD2. They get 1st and 2nd places. And we had a couple more that we lost towards the end there, just to let you know. One of them was Harold Garcaklis. Ivan Martinez was another, and also Cosimo Francesco Durante failed to finish the race as well. We didn't really talk about the Masters, but we'll get a result on those very shortly. But in terms of the overall result, it was a win for the Spaniard Jorge Carlos Pescador by 1.2 seconds for the Praga team. 2nd place went to Oriel Dalmu Caballero. 3rd place then for Glenn Van Priest. 4th place for Kasper Bilecki, and 5th place for the champion from Spirit Racing, Kevin Ludi. Willy Verlanen was in 6th place ahead of 7th place Gerard Sebrian Aritza. 8th place for Konstantin Scholl. 9th place was that of Barry Pullinger. And 10th place for the South African, which is Bradley Liebenberg. Behind them, Marcel Schirmer, Fabian Land, Philip Sewer, Andrew Williamson, Imra Barizdo, and Michelle Biffiger. The first of the Masters home was 17th place Christoph Adams. Joel Altonen was in between the rest of the Masters. And then you had Ilja Oloskins in 19th place and 2nd of the Masters. And Jonathan Petirzi in 20th, and he was a 3rd of the Masters as well. So a great race there from DD2. As expected, all classes have delivered this morning. And it was Jorge Carlos Pescador